are we? Welcome to episode 2 on this series about zonal marketing, a brand new model which uses the tactical lessons taken from football management to help you to understand, plan, action and measure your marketing activity effectively. I'm Simon Vincent, the marketing tactician, and in today's video we're going to be talking about some of the basics of the theory, and that's because before we get into any of the technical stuff, it's important that we establish some of the fundamentals, we agree the shared language so that we all know what we're referring to. And so in this video I'll be dealing with some of the real basics of football and explaining what their marketing equivalents are within zonal marketing as a framework. While I appreciate that some of this stuff will be really basic, I think it's important that we get it out of the way now, just so that later on there's no confusion when we're talking about what constitutes the ball or attacking and defending or the opposition, for example, when it comes to marketing. So without further ado, I guess let's get stuck in. Scoring goals, like making sales, is where the action's at, right? It's the sexy part of the endeavour. And so anything that is fundamentally transactional in its approach within your marketing mix is considered attacking within the zonal marketing framework. There you go. That was nice and simple, right? However, a team that always attacks and ignores its defence won't get very far either. The stability that comes when a team is really good at not conceding goals down at this end is what all successful teams are built upon. What's that famous phrase? Attack wins you matches, defence wins you championships? Something like that. Similarly, any business that is constantly losing customers through poor customer service or simply not inspiring past purchasers to become brand advocates, they're not going to stick around very long either. As such, any activity that is aimed at keeping, motivating, or harnessing the power of your current customers is considered defending in the zonal marketing framework. If attacking is transactional, defending is tribal. So far, so relatively straightforward. So let's get stuck into one of the more meaty concepts, and in zonal marketing, concepts don't come any more meaty than this. Fundamental to all of zonal marketing are the joint concepts of possession and space. That's because in the world of football, how teams approach and manipulate those two things is absolutely core to all tactical play, and actually exactly the same thing is true in marketing. In football, of course, possession relates to who has control of the ball. One team has it, and the onus is on them to do something useful with it, and the other team doesn't have it, and the onus is on them to win it back. In marketing terms, you can think of the ball as being the equivalent of your target customer's attention. Are you in possession of your target customer's attention? If you are, great. What are you going to do with it? It's all very well and good being the brand that your target customer is thinking about and considering purchasing from, for example, but if you don't have a plan as to how you're going to move them to the next step, you're going to quickly lose their attention. And so that prompts the question, if you're not in possession of your target customer's attention, how are you going to win it back? What tactics are you going to put in place to wrestle control of their attention? And how are you going to manage the transition to being in possession of their attention when you do? Space relates to how much you push a sales message onto your customer versus pulling them in with a softer, brand-focused approach. In football, teams will often constrict and create space in certain areas of the pitch in order to open up opportunities in some places while applying pressure to other places, and we do exactly the same thing in marketing. Sometimes it's perfectly acceptable to be transactional in our approach. For example, if a customer has expressed an interest in buying from us, particularly if it's an impulse or emergency purchase, we should be making it as simple as it possibly can be for them to buy from us. Similarly, there are times when the customer actually appreciates us being more transactional in our messaging. For example, when a product is on sale, in short supply, or perhaps it's something that's really desirable and there's a chance that they might miss out on it. The customer actually appreciates being told about that and encouraged to go and purchase immediately. However, sometimes, and this applies to all areas of the marketing pitch, by the way, it's actually a better approach to invite your customer into the brand, creating space for them to feel like they're not being sold to. In these circumstances, such an approach makes the customer feel like they're part of the tribe, like they belong, like the company gets them. I'll go into huge amounts of detail about this as we move forward, but for the time being, I just want to implant in your mind that concept that possession and space are the absolute two fundamentals of both football and marketing, and therefore they are the absolute crux of the entire zonal marketing idea. Okay, let's move on to defining who the opposition is. Now, it would be simple for us to assume that that would be your company's competitors. But no, after all, at the point at which you're often trying to make a sale, the thing that's standing between you and that sale is often really not your competitors. At the point at which you have your target customer's attention, possession of the ball, the thing between where you are now and making a sale, scoring a goal, is actually your customer's reservations about buying from you. I call that the resistance, and the resistance is what I classify in zonal marketing as the opposition. With any sale, there will be some level of resistance that will arise out of questions such as, can I afford this? Do I trust this company? Does this price represent good or fair value for the actual product or service that's on offer? How strong that resistance is obviously differs from product to product and brand to brand, but that's precisely why having different tactical approaches is so important to that whole process. Overcome those reservations and you're likely going to make a sale. Hold those reservations at bay by providing great customer service, rewarding and encouraging brand advocacy and loyalty, or even just through making that customer feel like they belong to your brand. And you're likely to keep your rate of customer loss, the conceding of goals, to a minimum. Note the extremely important nuance. The opposition is not your customer. I'm going to say that again. The opposition is not your customer. It is their resistance, their reservations about buying from you. That's the opposition. That is the thing that is to be overcome. Ultimately, if they're engaging with your marketing, they are shopping to some degree. They are in the game and you have possession of the ball. Now you simply need to find a way of unlocking their resistance and ensuring it cannot come back once it's gone. Okay, I think that's enough for today, but please do check back each week for a new episode of Zonal Marketing, each one explaining a different part of your marketing mix through a footballing lens. If you're enjoying what you're watching, please do like and comment, and while you're at it, why not tell your friends to tell their friends? After all, we all have a responsibility to share these things we know so that we may improve the lives of others. I am available for speaking gigs, training sessions and client work. If you would like to talk to me about any of those, please do visit my website x-cmo.com. In the next session, we'll be touching on marketing channels, and I'll be explaining why they represent the players on the football pitch, but which one's your star striker and which one's your ball-playing centre-back, all will be revealed. Until then, thank you very much for your attention.